Well, folks, we have touched on this throughout the week. Final arrangements have been made to a former colleague and friend to the show here at WVVA, Vane Colby. Final arrangements have been made. Visitation will be on Thursday, January 5th, from 6 to 8 at the Granada Theater in downtown Bluefield. And his funeral is set the next day, Friday, January 6th at 10 a.m. also at the Granada, which if you haven't been there, it's right across the street from the Craft Memorial Library on Commerce Street. And with that, this half hour, we wanted to take a moment to remember one of Mercer County's own through the eyes of those who knew him best. The loss of Vane Colby is affecting many deeply throughout the two Virginias, and WVVA's Clayton McChesney talks with some of those who knew him best.
Vane Colby was a much-loved journalist, playwright, and actor in the two Virginias. One of his closest friends from his theater group, Four Pals, talks about being part of that circle with Vane.
What was it like to be his friend, you asked? It was a place of trust. It was a place of safety. I knew that Vane would always be honest with me.
Vane Colby helped found Four Pals Productions, the creative outlet that allowed Colby's talent to shine and touch the lives of many people in our area.
He was magnetic. You just were drawn to him. His face, his smile, his laughter, his spirit just exuded love. And so I think you didn't have to know him to want to be his friend, to want to be his best friend.
Colby was a star on and off the stage, not to mention his tremendous influence on the people around him. Vane's talent as a playwright moved audiences and friends alike with messages of unity. Although Colby is passed, Four Pals member Skip Crane says he will always be part of their productions. The memories of his gift will continue to shine, and it will never be forgotten.
But the main thing that he taught Four Pals, that we are all more alike than we are different.
Here for you in Bluefield, West Virginia, I am Clayton McChesney, WVVA News.
Clayton, thank you very much. And listen, no words written on or uttered from any page can completely encompass the impact that Vane Colby has had on the two Virginias. He may have been a character on stage, but it is his character off that our communities will remember, miss, and cherish forever. A fervent character of joy, encouragement, and love, Vane first came to my attention as the spokesperson in many of the Grant's supermarket commercials that used to air here on WVVA. His charisma stood out, and to no surprise, I then learned that he did work here at WVVA at one point in time as the assignment editor and content manager. Vane and I met in 2016, and around this time, he had that play, The 11th Hour, which was getting ready to take the stage. It was then I discovered his knack for analogies and crafting phrases all his own. As a reporter, I would often have so many great sound bites, and the tough part would be figuring out which one of Vane's sound bites to choose. The camera loved Vane, and he gave that love right back. And we thought, what better way to remember Vane than to hear from him in his own words. 2 years ago, he was selected as a hometown hero, and we had the opportunity to discuss his life.
But I will say this, I don't do this alone. It takes a village.
It has been said it takes a village to raise a child, and the way Vane Colby lights up when he discusses the arts, it's clear the stage is his child.
My love for theater came when I was like in the 3rd or 4th grade and they were having a school play. I missed the auditions. To make a long story short, the teacher walked in and said, "Hey, little Joe just, quit. We need to leave for the play." And I raised my hand before I even thought about it. I was like, "I'll do it."
Acclaimed productions from his mind onto the written page, molded by set design, lighting, costumes, and makeup, and finally performed by a bevy of actors and actresses from our corner of the world.
When you're approaching a character, what's the first thing you do?
You listen to your director. Your director, like Julie Hurley and Thomas Lester, they make you think, who is this character?
Do you ever find yourself taking the character home with you?
All the time, but that's the beauty of theater. You get to be someone else for about 4 or 5 months and escape, yourself. I'm, kind of a humdrum kind of fella.
In hindsight, he sees that the arts provided him with the skills he would need in all aspects of life. And it's a skill set he hopes to instill in the next generation.
We had a kid named Brady. He was being bullied in school. To see his confidence grow from a kid that was being bullied when he first got here to the little boy who said to me every night, I'd say, Brady, what you gonna do tonight? I'm gonna steal the show.
Whether he's starring in someone else's production or one of his own, he hopes the stories and characters give audiences insight into the world around them, with a little levity added in.
Well, when I write, I have a message in mind. And, you know, sometimes bitter pills are hard to swallow, but they're easier to swallow with a dose of humor. And we always have a message that we want, you know, our audience to leave with.
It is his love of the arts and sharing it with all of us that makes Vane Colby a hometown hero.